Good morning, teacher and classmates. Today I'm going to explain my project. Well, I will choose a book and talk about the title The Woodlanders, a story and picture by Thomas Hardy. Well, I really enjoy this book, so I summarize all my book in this big book made by me. Well, there is the contents. The next page is Little Hints of in Winter. Well, Marty didn't want to give her hair to Mr. Charmon, even though she did it because her father was sick. Mr. Charmon is a rich woman, and Marty is a poor woman, a poor girl. She's Marty. The next chapter calls Grace Come Home. Grace come home and Jules felt happy because Grace's father wants them to be married, but Grace changed her mind. Well, Jules is a Woodlanders and Grace is a lady. The next chapter called The New Friend. Mr. Charmon invites Grace to her house, and Jules thought that she could separate them, so he decided to make a party and invite Grace's family. The chapter number 4 calls The Party. Mr. Charmon traveled to Europe. When about the party, it wasn't what Jules expected, because there were a lot of troubles. The next day, Grace told to Jules to forget their engagement, and Marty's father died. The other chapter called The Writing on the Wall. Grace's father was happy about his decision. The next chapter called The Writing on the Wall. Well, Grace's father was happy about his decision because he always wanted that Grace get married with Dr. Fitzgerald. Jules gives a horse to Grace, and in that situation he demonstrated that he really loves her. The next chapter is Pity is Not Love. Dr. Fitzgerald wanted to meet Grace. Mrs. Oliver was sick and she wanted to break her deal about her brain with the doctor, so Grace helped her. Grace talked with him and he started to feel something, and then Grace felt pity, not love, for Jules. The next chapter called Midsummer Eve. Fitzgerald was sure that he was in love with Grace. Grace wanted Jules. Then Fitzgerald kissed her and she admired him. Finally, they were planning their wedding. Marriage. Well, this couple about Dr. Fitzgerald and Grace, they finally get married and they go to their honeymoon. When Grace returned, she saw Jules again. He really missed her. She got married, absolutely. Even though Dr. Fitzgerald cheated on her with Mr. Charmon. The next chapter called Two Friends Meet Again. Dr. Fitzgerald fell in love with Mr. Charmon when he saw her, but Grace didn't know about their dates, although she was surprised when she saw them, but she doesn't want to believe in the relationship. Well, in the next chapter called Mr. Charmon, she felt guilty about the relationship with Grace's husband, so she talked to Grace and told her everything about the relation. Grace said that she doesn't matter because she didn't love him. It was obviously that she always loved Jules, but she don't want to talk with him. The chapter number 11 called Bad News. Well, because Grace wanted to get divorced with Dr. Fitzgerald, but the new love didn't let them, so she couldn't love him in front of the other people. The other chapter called The Cottage in the Woods. Jules was too sick, and one morning he died. Grace didn't know about his illness, and when he was alive, she kissed him, so she was sick too. But Dr. Fitzgerald gave her a medicine. And the final chapter calls Afterwards. Dr. Fitzgerald wasn't with Mr. Charmon anymore. Grace and Fitzgerald started to live together again, although they loved another person and cheated on her. Well, Marty still loves Jules forever and ever, but she never told him because I think that she felt a little fear to demonstrate their feelings. Her feelings. Well, the person who created this book called Angelica Vargas, that I mean. Well, now I'm going to tell my opinion. I think the story were a mix of dramatic and romantic novel. I really like because the end was unpredictable. Anyone thought that Grace could coexist with Shakespeare after he cheated on her. Other situation was in chapter number 12 when Grace knows that Jules was sick and finally died. I thought that they will be together and have a happy ending like a fairy tale. But the most dramatic scene for me was when I knew that Marty always loved him and she never told him. That were too dramatic for me. If I were Marty, I would tell my feelings to him. Maybe I would change the end of the story. Well, for all of these reasons, I think that the story is the best for us and we need to read it. After I read this book, I saw the movie. One thing that it's similar is the plot, and what's different in the story is that it have more details than the movie. But I really recommend it to watch it. You will enjoy it. Thank you.